And hello, Bulbers, Mongoloids, to all new 2016 edition podcast of By the Bulb.
20.
How you doing? What up?
It's the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
good, man.
You know, it's a long, nice holiday. We'll get to that. To
Yeah.
my right, I am Brian Stooley. To my right is Jeremy Backlaw.
How you doing?
Jerry?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Just, enjoyed my holiday break. And now back to the real world, trying to do grown-up things. And
On rainy days.
days. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, it's cool. Just been hanging out. Mm-hmm. Got a sweet secondhand TV from Bry Guy.
It was the holidays.
It was the holidays.
I'll give it.
And to Jeremy's right is Tony Gomez. Go Gomez. How you doing?
How you doing? That's me.
Yeah.
I'm Tony.
There he is.
Yeah. It's been fucking... I don't feel like I've been able to just have a break yet.
Yeah, I feel
I don't know. I mean, there's been little snippets of time where it's like, all right, I guess I can just sit on my ass for a couple hours right now.
Well, I mean, you guys have been editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, internship.
It was the holidays. Yeah, I mean, we got stuff going on.
I still gotta get on that internship, man. I have barely even scratched the surface. I was just like,
Yeah.
hey, but my buddy Joe, why don't you hook something up over at that place you work at, huh?
Why not get somebody to sign some papers or something? Just be done with school here.
Just go there.
Push me on through.
Just sign my time slip. Yeah, but here we are, man. First one of the year. Woo!
Yeah, and it's a good thing. I think we're starting at 15. It's a nice. I like that number, 15.
15.
Start out the year. It's half of 30,
Yeah.
which is half of 60, which is half of over 100. Not going to do the math on that one, folks. You like that?
20 over.
We're also writing a
Quote that
children's
on
show.
the website.
We're going to teach sort of math to little kids.
Sort of math.
Sort of math. Just running through. It's just an sort of. The obvious thing is going to be Star Wars. We're going to talk about that later. I think that we're going to spoil the shit out of it, so we'll warn you of that.
Yeah.
The final segment.
Yeah. So we'll just get into some, entertainment news right now. First thing, I guess it's a visual. We've got this Entertainment Weekly that has ye old Doctor Strange on it
With Cumbles.
Benedict Cumbersnatch.
Bumpy Cumbies.
Yeah. Looking pretty
back.
fancy pants, casting a spell or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Looks like some Fullmetal Alchemist shit, man.
that is pretty cool. Wouldn't refresh my memory? He's a DC gentleman. Dr.
That's a Marvel
Strange?
guy.
He's a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me.
Did you ever see Venture Brothers?
Yes.
Basically, the
Oh,
neighbor
yeah.
is Doctor Strange. It's an old retired Doctor Strange.
Yeah. It looks decent enough. Like, it's that time in the MCU, they're going to be expanding out to,
Yeah.
secondary heroes, I guess. But as long as I can remember, like, Stan Lee was always trying to, like, push Doctor Strange on people, like, in interviews and stuff. He would just bring him up, like, even if it was about the Hulk, like, Doctor Strange!
Strange. Now he's going to come into the mix.
Doctor Strange is a lot like Spider-Man.
I think he's one of Stan's favorites. Best of luck to it. I don't know. It looks like the comics. I didn't read any of them. He's got the
Do you think
white hair happening.
it's Stan Lee's favorite because Stan Lee is, in fact, a warlock, and that's how he's made it this far?
Yeah, he's desperate for attention and
believers.
wants somebody to finally figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting his movie. Congratulations, Benedict and Stan. Looking pretty sharp. I mean,
That'd be great if that was Stan Lee's cameo in this. At the end,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange just pulls off the mask, and it's not Benedict. It's been me the whole time.
True believers.
he just carries on the franchise at least two more. Just Stan Lee.
Just Stan Lee.
That's what he always wanted. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. I mean, there's tons of movies coming out. Eventually we got, Star Wars stuff coming up this year. I mean, I believe that this Rogue One Star Wars story is coming out.
Star Wars story.
Yeah, and they're expanding that universe, and they're going to do it, and people are going to see it. It's setting records. Star Wars Force Awakens is surpassing Avatar in the U.S.
Oh, my God.
Has it
speak.
officially done it?
I think it did it already. Well, it did a better opening weekend, right?
Well, yeah,
It's
just
fucking crushed.
yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean, sidebar. Mel Brooks has come out and said that he's going to be doing a Spaceballs 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm kind of disappointed because I love Mel Brooks so much, and he's so old, and I feel like if you make Spaceballs 2, it'll be his last actual movie. And I don't want his last movie to be Spaceballs 2.
Well, what would you like it to be?
I don't know. It would be
A send-off
at least,
sort of thing?
Yeah, maybe or like at least if you're gonna do a sequel, do History of the World Part 2. Because you have History of the World Part 1.
Yeah. No, that's. I accept that answer.
Yeah.
I cannot say anything else. It's, yeah.
Star Wars hasn't even passed Jurassic World yet
What you read? Oh, for like worldwide?
for a worldwide gross.
Ah, okay.
Worldwide all time, Avatar 2.7 bill, Star Wars Force Awakens 1.5. But if you look at highest grossing films adjusted for inflation, you still got Gone with the Wind. It's
Yeah.
number 1, then Avatar, then Star Wars.
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind just like I don't know. I don't really like that movie, but for some reason a lot of people do.
Like obsessed with it. Like I
Yeah.
had a buddy that had his mom had all these like collector plates. Remember they used to sell those on TV, and it was
yeah.
like scenes, artist renditions
Yeah.
of scenes.
And you
from Gone with the
don't
Wind.
eat off those plates.
Oh, there was. I didn't even go in that room.
Don't even look at it.
No, just saying, you're peeking a little bit on.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. But yeah, that adjustment for inflation deal. Somebody brought that up and did the math or whatever, and so that's, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's even with the adjustment for inflation, that's A New Hope that's up there at number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So The Force Awakens not even on the top 10 yet for that.
That's fucking. Come on, guys. Go see. If you haven't seen it, see it. Well, if you have seen it, I saw it twice. But we'll talk about that later.
Whoa.
Yeah. Moving along there, just some brief TV news. You got they are making a Rocky Horror TV show, which I think is kind of funny.
That is, yeah. I'm actually. I mean, Tony can testify. Me and him went to several midnight showings of Rocky Horror Picture
Are you
Show.
serious?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
This is
dude.
something I did not know.
No, we did, and one of which I don't think Tony ever did the makeup.
I did like
Did you
some
do-
little mascara
Your little
deal.
rouge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
little rouge on the cheeks there.
So I did do the. That was when I
Never
had
had
really
lady
long,
clothes.
like if you can envision Robert Plant style hair.
Oh, you guys see, he posted a picture on Facebook.
The picture.
If you guys, just to
We
tell
gotta
the
post that
audience,
to the ball.
yeah, absolutely. There's like this fire in front of like it's.
We took lighter fluid and then put it on my cul-de-sac
It wasn't even
street.
lighter fluid. It was rubbing
It
alcohol.
was rubbing. We took rubbing alcohol, put it on my cul-de-sac street, and then set it on fire. And we all took a picture behind it.
And we all look so bored.
Yeah.
Is the thing. We're just like in front of fire. Like,
But
whatever.
you're a teenager, and that's the vibe you're supposed
I
to
was
be
like,
giving off.
I think
whatever.
I was
fire,
like,
but okay.
I must have been like 15
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that photo.
Well,
15 or
I think
16.
that whatever it was, it worked.
And then right after that picture was taken, there was a car that came down the street to like fix a power line or something. Everybody freaks
And we
out. And
bolted.
we're like, run! Everybody just runs into my house.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't think to go
We live
run in
like a
opposite directions. They're
cul-de-sac,
like, let's
and we
all
just
run into the
the
house.
house at the end of it.
Yeah, it's like, ay.
That's. But yeah, that's should be pretty interesting. I mean, all right, when you guys were going to these shows, were you picking characters here in particular?
No,
or just going.
I
with
mean,
just,
most times I just went as is,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
But
okay.
there was only one time where I went and I had makeup on and I had like the long hair and I had the lipstick. David was wearing like he had
David went
makeup
full
and he
on,
had a
like-
dress.
yeah, he had a whole
and he had,
thing. I think that was the night that we set that shopping cart
That
on
was
fire.
the night we set the shop, and David had to run away from the security guards in a dress and flats, and it was great.
So basically, we were really into fire at one point. And you can tell by the picture we're going to post. And we took a shopping cart, took it out to the middle of a back parking lot on the side of a Target, and
Doused it in
just
lighter fluid.
Doused it and just lit that bitch on fire.
That's
and then we
awesome.
came back later to see what would happen because it was taking too long. We were like, well, we're gonna have to get to the show. So we came back to it, and then it was just melted. It was just like bars.
Wow.
The plastic's all gone. And we're like, holy shit. We're all kind of like inching up towards it. And then as we're getting really, really close, security card truck just goes around the
Yeah.
corner. there they are. We're like, fuck.
But
And you
it-
return
but
to the
like,
scene.
somebody, like, Craig was like in line,
Yeah.
so like we just like went in line with him,
Yeah.
and the security guard like drove
Yeah,
past
we
us.
saw them like
and
swoop past, looking to see if they could.
We
find
just blended
us.
in with the other
Yeah.
weirdos.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna go check in there.
Yeah, clean escape. Smart,
Yeah.
smart. Yeah, I just burned GI Joes when I was young,
Yeah.
which was fun
Anyway.
at the time, but now I regret.
Well, yeah.
Hey, what am I GI Joe?
But anyway, Rocky Horror TV show. I don't know, man. I do really like the movie a lot, and I don't know what. I mean, maybe
I'd definitely check it out.
if
What
it's
network's it on?
if it's a goofy,
Good question. I don't know.
a cheesy American Horror Story, that might be because it's already cheesy.
Well, that's what
if it
I'm
just,
saying,
like-
right? Like that whole if there's a musical like show, I'm assuming it's going to be on Fox.
Yeah.
By the guys who made Glee and American
guys
Horror
from Glee.
Story, and some sort of Fox related business.
I mean,
Tony's diligently.
Tony is
Tony go on the
researching.
street. There he is.
Tony go. What do you got, Tony?
Oh, I see you.
The witness will not divulge that at this time.
But yeah, was that something? I mean, just the idea of it. Is that something that you'd watch?
I mean, I'd give it. Yeah, it's Fox. It's
You were
Fox.
correct.
I'd give it a go, but at the same time, I don't know. MTV made Scream the TV series, and that's a piece of shit.
I haven't watched.
I
I
it.
didn't even know that happened.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
got Teen Wolf
Yes.
as well, right?
they got a Teen Wolf show, which is insanity, man. What to say?
People like it, I think.
I think
No,
they did.
people
I
fucking-
remember like I had some little cousins or something they were visiting. They're like looking around. They're like, "Oh, Teen Wolf's on." I was like, "Oh, you guys like Teen Wolf? That's awesome." I was thinking it was a
not
Michael
the
J.
movie.
Fox movie.
No.
Yeah,
I was like, I love that movie.
There's no slam dunking werewolves in this.
Michael J. Fox, slam dunking werewolf. That's right. 5'5" slam dunking werewolf.
That's gonna be my autobiography. Slam dunking werewolf.
I would have liked to see the progression of your facial expression while that was happening.
That's what it is.
Looking around you, just like fucking kids. Moving along, I get some sad news. We don't really talk about music much on here. Honestly, because musical taste is.
It's varied.
Oh,
And
it's
we all
varied.
have. I mean, we all have similar tastes in some ways, but in other ways, we just kind of like
Oh, absolutely.
go like,
Right.
yeah.
So not well. It's not worth getting in a heated discussion over. But there's so many options as far as music, and way more than a studio movie or a show on TV. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. Anyway, so Lemmy from Motorhead. We all do enjoy some rock and roll.
Oh my God.
That much can be agreed upon. I was never much of a Motorhead guy. Like the songs that I know, I enjoy Ace of Spades, and there was another one I think.
Ace of Spades, I only first became familiar with as a kid because of Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah,
okay.
for me it was Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, it was Tony Hawk. Yeah. He was in Tony Hawk too. Yeah. Tony Hawk was at 3. It was in.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a good
Yes,
one.
it
That was
was.
my favorite one.
that was one we can make it the first custom guy
Yeah.
ever.
You get the demon lady, see your boobs. It was great.
But I don't know, man. I have a lot of because I'm into super into metal music. It's ever since I was in high school. Actually, before that, but I don't know. I got a lot. He's a big deal, and he's like influenced a lot of bands that I listen to, and I never thought he would die.
Yeah.
honestly, I mean,
He didn't look like he was about to die
well-
anytime soon. He's looked the same for like how many fucking years?
Right.
I actually remember like a couple of years ago reading an article about how like Lemmy should be dead because he just like drinks scotch and like eats red meat and like doesn't really give a fuck about his body, but all of his doctors say that he's like healthy for no fucking reason. And I was like, yeah, dude, he's never gonna die. And there we go.
Well, he's like 70. I think.
Yeah, I
79.
mean, but like my grandpa's older than that.
But for
Yeah.
some guy that lived a life like
Yeah.
Lemmy, 70,
He
that's an accomplishment.
I mean,
Well, and he's such a character. I mean, that's another thing. Like, and you mentioned like influencing like other music.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever hear that band Probot? It's just like a Dave Grohl project.
Yeah.
I remember a song with him on there too. I can't remember the name, but like, dude, I don't know. That's a huge loss. Like, there have been a lot of deaths like over the course of the past year, as far as like celebrities, even like stuff like that. But so rest in peace, Lemmy.
he actually like the town he was from in London. I can't remember. They like only had like a street light by like the phone booth. So that's what they would do at like night, is hang out by the like one light in town and like get drunk. And then he became a rock star. So
That's awesome.
he was the first by the bulb guy, actually, if you think about it like that.
He was just hanging out by that bulb,
Just
man.
hanging
Just
out by that
drinking.
bulb.
It all comes full circle. So yeah, rest in peace, Lemmy. I guess worth mentioning, if we're going to bring up music, Guns N' Roses has decided that they're going to go ahead and they're going to headline Coachella and I guess do some other tours.
Yeah. I'm not a.
They're one of the. They had like. you might get pissed. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had like 1.5 really good albums, and that's. I don't really need to listen to.
I don't like Guns N' Roses like at all. And I'm like, if you like them, that's cool, man. Everybody has their own thing, but I just never was into them. I think that Axl's kind of a douche. I think that Velvet Revolver was like worse in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's for so many years. I mean, like the stuff that was good. You know, how was it like a decade ago? I remember seeing them do it, and I was like, Guns N' Roses, and Axl just sounds like, just like Axl, what are you doing,
like a
man?
dying rodent.
Yeah, what are you doing? And now they're still trying to tour. Like, how does that sound? There's no way. It's
He had the
good.
like dreads and the like.
Yeah,
doing his-
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh Jesus! But that you know, like I think of Guns N' Roses. I think about like when I don't know when I first started like really listening to music and liking it. It was probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And Guns N' Roses were like huge at the time, and it was when it was like I like rock and roll.
Yeah, right.
I don't like all this other stuff so much, but these guys are this is moving me right. Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. I totally. When I was a little kid, Welcome to the Jungle. Like you go to a sports game and they're like start playing Welcome to the Jungle, and you get fucking pumped.
Right. Yeah, but
Still get pumped.
I remember I saw Terminator 2 in the theater as a lad. As 7.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
That was 1990.
Yeah, I think it was 1990.
I was just.
Wow.
I might have not even been born at the time.
I was 2.
Depending on what. Yeah.
All right.
I was born in 1990, but depending on what time of year the movie came out, maybe I didn't exist when you saw that.
Well, I just remember they had that song "You Could Be Mine" in there.
Yeah.
And just remember like just being, I don't know, it was awesome to me. Like just being like, yeah, it's Guns N' Roses, and there's robots and they're killing people, and it's very much. And it's really good like memory that I have. So I don't know. Yeah, this is going to be terrible though, huh?
This is gonna.
This is going to be a shit show.
It's bad.
I don't know. I personally, as the years have gone, I went from like wanting to go to Coachella to like not wanting anything to do. I mean, when I like was in high school, there was some bands that were like, oh yeah, I'd go and see those bands. And then one year, Nick Cave actually played, and I didn't get to go. That would have been fucking sick. But fucking they. Other than that, like I looked at this lineup that just came out, and I was like, yeah. Other than like the big headliners, I don't know who any of you are. Even like one of the headliners, I was like, who's?
Yeah, you know. I don't know. Welcome to my fucking world, dude. I don't know anything. You guys, like, I would never dream. Like, I don't like being in huge crowds. Coachella to me just sounds like a nervous breakdown waiting to happen. Like,
I really like music festivals. It's just there's none that appeal to me enough to pay the fucking music festival price. You know, it's just not enough stuff I want to see there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there'll be some bands at Warped Tour that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I feel like it's worth paying that ticket.
Yeah.
Because every time, I don't know, a lot of my friends do just like go to Warped Tour every year. So like, if I do go, I'm gonna run. Yeah. Like Tevin and Kanan and Aaron Brant, all those dudes, they go. And so like, if I do get a ticket, then I know I'm gonna run into somebody. Yeah. So it's like at least.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Back in when I was in high school, we'd go to Ozfest. Like I went like 3 times.
I never got a chance to go when it was like. By the time I was like old enough to go, it was like the stupid register for free Ozfest that was like only 4 bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that stage.
Oh no, yeah.
That sounds rough.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
So basically, don't bring up that I was an Ozfest guy.
I wish I could have gone.
Just get to know the person before you mention that.
know the person.
Okay. But yeah, that's just sort of entertainment news in general. We had talked about video games in a while, which some news about the Uncharted that's coming out for PS4 sort of made me think about it, because I guess that they pushed it back, which is a bummer. And then I started thinking about, well, like that always happens.
Yeah.
There's always a stink. Like, pushing it back. It's like, well, do you want a good game or don't you? Like,
Right.
shut up.
Well, then there's something like The Last Guardian, which I've been waiting for like 8 years to play.
Right. Yeah.
Which has just never.
Yeah, it just never
Well,
comes
didn't they
out.
scrap
It
that?
keeps
No.
they scrapped. At one point they scrapped it, but that
Yeah.
was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
then they
okay.
brought it back and they revamped it, and then they did it for the PS4 instead of the PS3, because originally it was going to be on the PS3.
And they had
Right.
to go back and recode everything.
and then recode.
It was almost like a
everything,
selling
and it's on-
point for the PS3. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's how fucking old. That's how long it's been. And because the guys that made that are making The Last Guardian also made Shadow of the Colossus, which is like one of my all-time
And,
fucking
yeah,
favorite
dude, that
games.
game is really awesome. And
Yeah.
Ico.
Yeah, and Ico.
Yeah.
So and it's still not here. Like, we've seen a lot of footage of it. I know what it looks like, but still not. But yeah. Anyway, some of them are
Yeah.
just getting pushed back into eternity.
It's part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But games like Uncharted, it's gonna get pushed back, but it's gonna show up. Like,
Right.
you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's not a fever dream.
It's a favorite.
But I like those Uncharted games, actually. Those are really fun.
They're fun.
they're a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I think it's a general consensus that 2 is the best of the whole bunch. But either way, I mean, it's still
Just love
it's a great
adventure
time.
and adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just
You know.
Totally.
Oh, that last Tomb Raider was a lot like Uncharted.
Yeah, yeah,
The
it was.
New Lara Croft,
Tomb Raider
or the
was
young
really
Lara
good.
Croft. Yeah,
Yeah,
That was a
pretty
good
brutal.
game. Yeah.
Right, especially the beginning. Like, there's,
Yeah.
no, I mean the whole thing, right? It's
The whole
pretty
thing
nasty.
was really
They're like
intense,
cannibals
yeah.
and
Yeah.
something,
And
or
there's all
ripping
this-
each other apart. I don't
Tomb
know.
Raider's
much.
always been fucking crazy, man.
Has it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember her like velociraptors chasing her and her
I feel like I've
flipping
never
around
been
and
enough into those games. I'm pretty sure that
I've
I've
had,
played a few, but this last one is the only one I've ever.
I'm not
finished.
like I wasn't
Yeah,
like a
totally.
crazy
Me
fan
too,
of
yeah.
it, but I did own. I have the first one on PS1, and then I didn't play the second one. I played the third one, and then I also had Angel of Darkness for PS2, which is not kind of one of the worst ones, but I don't know, man. I kind of like Tomb Raider. I
Yeah.
wish I had a new next gen system to play all
Eh.
these fucking games.
well, I think that's
It's pretty nice having one of those. I'll tell you guys.
Well, I'm happy that I don't know. I'd rather come late to the game.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd rather have the TV to actually sort of enjoy it on.
Yeah.
First of all, but if you wait, a couple years, few years, like all those games that are awesome, they just become really cheap. System's
Yeah.
cheap, and it's just like, man, I can just. Have at least like a reasonable budgeted,
Yeah.
like video game, whatever
Seems like
entertainment.
the timeline on how long it takes a game to get down to like $20 deal.
Yeah.
it
It's-
takes a while now.
Well,
Like,
now
there's a
they
bunch of
don't,
games-
like-
I go to GameStop and I'm like, "What? The game came out like a year and a half ago. You still fucking $50?"
They used to do
What?
like the
Yeah.
greatest hits, and like
Yeah,
Xbox
the
would have
greatest
platinum
hits.
hits.
That was, like,
and,
most of my
that-
PlayStation 2
I
collection.
would only
Yeah,
all
was greatest
mine
hits.
were red packages.
Yeah,
I
red
never had the
packages.
black packages.
We had all the reds.
Those
We had
cheap-
maybe three blacks,
Yeah.
and then 80%.
Yeah, the black ones are
97%
Christmas presents,
price,
or
yeah.
if you save up your allowance. I remember saving my allowance for a fucking Game Boy Color. God.
Dude, I think the best like red packaging PS2 game I ever had was Def Jam Fight for New York.
Oh,
I cannot tell you how fucking
X
awesome
gonna give it to you.
it was. So great. I don't even like rap, but I loved that game, and I warmed up to some of the rappers in the process. I'm like, hey, there he is.
I
Fixing
know
up
And
that.
that's how
Cars and
Stoodley got his groove back.
Anyway, video games. Are you guys?
Yeah, we're touching some.
Are you playing anything? What do you got?
Tony's got a newer.
I mean, I've just been doing Fallout more,
Yeah,
and
man.
Finally, I got to the part where I started building up the settlements. That's like this whole big reason that I got the game in the first fucking place was that you could rebuild society, right? You could just make these settlements and then have people come in and show up. And I have 3 now, but all of them, I just can't get fucking people to go there.
You gotta. I mean, okay. What's your charisma at, Tony? You got any charisma perks?
My charisma is pretty high, and I got all my local leader
Look
and
at
like
him.
cap
He's oozing
collectors.
charisma. Of course he's got charisma.
I'm doing what you're supposed to do.
Talking a 10? Talking an 8? How does it work in this game, actually? Because I haven't played.
Basically, it's
it's only
you start
like,
those stats at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like you always do in a Fallout game. But then everything else is just upgrades.
Yeah.
So when you start making the settlements, you got to have like local leader level upgrade. So where you put a little star in it. And so I already capped out the local leader thing, so I can have things. But then I have to cap out like my economics, point tree or whatever you want to call it.
Economics.
Yeah, so it's like you have to have cap collector. You got to have armor. Things that you can produce. It.
Yeah, no.
So how many hours in are we talking here?
You've probably played it for a while,
at least
a couple days,
a few days. Yeah, at least a couple days in total. Because I've had the game since November, and my playing has been really fucking on and off since I've had it. But at least a couple days, I'd say. Maybe like 40 hours.
Still, I mean, that's nothing though, right?
Yeah, no, that
not
game-
for the crazy scope of the game. It's nothing at all.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the story. I sort of just like. I was doing the story up to a point because it was pretty cool, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go fuck off and do this other thing for a while.
Yeah,
so I just started making these settlements,
all of those
and I started
games.
trying. You can see if you go to my first settlement and my second one when I started really trying to get the hang of making something to live based on this way they have to set up. It's like, oh, you can put a wall. You want a wall? You want a floor?
Yeah.
Are you a floor guy?
How about an assembly? How about an assembly?
Assembly.
Yeah. Want to put a light bulb in there? Yeah, you gotta get some generators if you want some light in that house.
Gonna cast it.
Yeah.
You want a Mr. Handy? You get Mr. Handy.
I just no.
No? The robots that help out
No.
and stuff you can't get.
You've got one. You've got one that can be like a companion,
Yeah, return
but
the
you
game.
can't just make one. And then put it in.
I'd say it's a bad game. No, just kidding.
They'll add it on later.
Oh yeah, you'll be like,
I
have
just made my
10,000
first
Mr.
bar.
Handy. Made a bar.
Yeah, I made a bar.
A watering hole. What do you serve there?
Yeah.
Serve,
Some booze. I made it in the wrong place because I made it in the place that's like the first one. So all the people that are already living there sort of have their own thing to do already, and you gotta wait for new people to show up. So I don't have a fucking bartender. So I made this awesome bar that took me forever, like hours just to
Tony's
make.
Place.
Yeah, it's Tony's Place. I got a pool table in there, and I gotta go around the game and find a whole set of pool balls.
Oh,
It's
God damn,
In
man.
as I was playing through the story, you come across these oh, it's an 8-ball. Oh, it's a 9-ball. And I was like, okay, whatever the fuck.
I'm
that
not gonna
is.
pick that up.
And then I started making the settlements, and I'm like, oh shit, I can make a pool table, and that's why those balls are all over the damn place.
Well, that's kind of cool because if you wanted to play pool after a nuclear war, you'd have to probably go scavenge.
Take time to make that happen.
You can also put a basketball court up, but there's no basketballs. I haven't seen a basketball.
There's no basketball. Well,
But
you'll
you could
probably
put a court
find
up
a
there.
basketball.
Yeah.
Can you I don't know, use a Brahmin bladder? Give that to the kids. Like that.
I'm not sure. Let's get back to you. But yeah, I'm basically just in this part of the game, and I've always loved things where you're just building RTS and stuff like that, where you construct stuff and Spore, all these things where you just make these parts of society. So that's why I really got into getting this game because I already said this before. I haven't been a long time Fallout player,
Right.
but I got this one because of that part of the game, and right now I'm just trying to get into it, and I haven't. There's a bunch of you gotta go on the internet to figure out how to do everything because there's nothing in the game that tells you how to do these things. I had
That's
to spend
insane.
at least 20 minutes looking through YouTube videos to find the right one to figure out how to make a light bulb turn on in one of the settlements.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, because you have
gotta
to
put
route power
you gotta
to
put
it.
a power switch, and then you gotta attach the power line to the power switch that can be inside or outside the house.
Yeah.
And then that power switch has to be within a certain vicinity of the light bulb. So if you have
for
multiple
sure.
light bulbs in one room, you gotta have a power switch and a generator on each side. So
That
it's
makes
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, if you're a fan of that, I mean, that's one of those things you're getting your money's worth. I mean, seriously.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing I've been playing lately, guys. I don't know.
I
I haven't really been playing. I'm just the usual pinball and some hockey.
pinball.
That's in my way. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, nothing comes out for the PS3, except for pinball table. Yeah.
I've been playing. I've been playing the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, the third one, the old one, replaying it because I don't have a fancy computer or nothing, so I got to play old games, and it's cool. I mean, I fucking love that. I mean, it's
Same studio,
same,
right?
but yeah, Bethesda, they fucking wreck it, man. I fucking love it. Anyway, that game's fun. And I've also been playing Jedi Outcast, which is
Oh yeah, you're
You were talking about that, and I was just like, man, I
fucking
want to play that
fun.
fucking
It's one
game
of the
again.
Jedi Knight series, and it's fucking. You play as Kyle Katarn, who's like a disgrace, or, you know, he's an outcasted Jedi,
Yeah.
and then he comes back, and he's like, I got a score to settle. You know, this fucking dark Jedi killed my lady, and but I mean, it's fucking. It's, you know, any game where you're like a dude. A Jedi, basically, using a lightsaber. It's fucking fun, and it's
That's
like,
it.
and it's like action too. It's not like I really like Knights of the Old Republic, but you know, you tell your dude to hit, and
Yeah,
he
like,
hits, and but
Yeah.
when you can actually like, and like run around them and like fucking, act, it's fucking fun.
That's cool.
It's a good time. It's really hard though. Games used to be a lot harder than they are now. I
They
feel
progressively, I think, get easier. Like the
Yeah.
games are coddling you.
Yeah.
Like I love the Batman franchise, but god damn if they just don't tell you every step of the way. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly what to do.
You're not doing this. This is what you want to do. Stop going over there.
Yeah. You're gonna want to knock that off. That's
Or he just like talks to himself, like, I should really get on that power switch.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was over here. Okay, I get it. I'll go back.
God damn.
yeah, that's yeah, I mean it's pretty it's weird. Like the winter used to be like a video game haven to me.
Yeah.
You know, I would just roll around like a pig in shit. Speaking of pigs and shit, it's time for trailer trash.
Trailer trash.
So we fucking OD'd on some trailers, I think, last time.
Yeah, we did quite a bit.
We were just mainlining those fucking things.
Yeah.
Swoop. Hacha, hacha, so we've only got a couple of and yeah, we got a couple of trailers.
Yeah.
The first one, I guess I'll just preface by saying that Michael, you're gonna know what it is, but Michael Bay is making a fifth Transformers. I'm not seeing these things in theaters. I don't think you guys are. Are you seeing them?
I saw the first one in theaters.
Yeah, right.
But other than, like I haven't even seen any of the other ones regularly.
Well, some jerks out there are seeing these movies
Yeah.
in theaters.
Shelling out.
Not just waiting. They're going
Yeah.
to the theaters to do it. And so they'll just keep making these. And the Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows.
Yeah.
Has got a trailer.
got
And we
one.
watched it.
Watched it. I mean, I think it looks kind of fun.
Okay. Yeah. It's,
I mean-
right. Like when I saw the trailer, I just imagine like this is the kind of movie that I could throw on like in the background and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
put some like a album on
Yeah.
or something and just I don't know.
Dark Side of the Moon and the Turtles.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Tony, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I guess I agree with Jeremy. Like it seemed like a fun trailer. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on. You got Bebop and Rocksteady, and that's the big
Casey
news.
Jones.
And Casey Jones
Yeah,
is in
What's
it.
kind of shitty casting.
Yeah.
He's the Arrow
And,
guy.
Oh, I don't
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, I'm probably not going to see it. I don't know. I don't think I will.
This is like an automatic red box.
If it's on TV, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's on Netflix and I'm super bored. Yeah.
Tony kicked it in the shin.
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
there's a Krang rumor, right?
Yes. So yeah, it was confirmed. Yeah, Krang is going to be in it. Dimension X, the whole bit.
Which is fucking cool, man.
That is
I
awesome.
might pump it up to Redbox then.
Yeah.
Just check it out.
Just to check out Krang.
Bumped up a little bit. But that's the thing. Like they've to me, I mean, I sat and I watched the first one,
Yeah.
and I just don't like any of the turtles, and I don't like April O'Neil. So what is there like?
Yeah.
So go ahead and expand out and make other people, you know, it's like just randomly like. Hopefully, I like this.
What
guy.
is it? Is it just like the like sort of personalities that they already had kind of stressed too far to be generic versions, or what is the problem?
Yeah, I guess right. Like because you got, I mean, you grew up on the cartoons and they're established that way, and then you had the original movie,
Yeah,
which
which
I
is
still
awesome.
say is a good movie.
Great movie.
Fucking
Even the
so
second one is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Nah, it's bad.
Well, we don't
I
talk
watched
about
it
the
again.
Turtles in Time.
Well, that was just a goddamn. Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Piece of horror.
But the cartoons and the movies, the first two still I
Yeah.
accept, you know. But Yeah, you're right. Like they've taken them off in these directions. Like maybe just the audience. They're going for this younger audience, and I'm not going to claim to understand young people right now. And they're aiming towards that, and it's just I don't know. It's different to me. Michelangelo is annoying. Like it was before, it was like he was annoying, but he was still funny.
Yeah.
Like he was stupid.
Yeah.
And this guy's, I mean, he's a box of rocks, but you know, he's just going about it in this way that I just want to slap him.
I think he seems like he's too quippy now. He's got a little thing to say. You know?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You guys going at what's in it? And, you know, like in the trailer, I was just like, oh shit. No.
That's what like everybody's doing,
Yeah.
and it feels like forced.
Yeah, it's Disney Channel
So
forced.
forced.
Like that, yeah.
It's like a bunch of old dudes. Like, remember when movies used to be like this?
Yeah.
And like they're the dudes who are writing this shit. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but like I feel like it's just like the people who make these movies and okay these movies and okay shit like that are people that are like not in touch with what's going on right now and don't understand.
Yeah.
Anything, and they're just like, that's funny, right? Slips on a banana peel, that's funny. Yeah, I'll throw that in.
That shit made
You
me
want to
laugh.
storyboard that? Or what?
Is that happening?
But I would say the highlights, like you said, you know, Casey Jones, you didn't really dig on so much, I guess. I'm happy he's there.
I mean, I'm glad
I
he's
guess.
there.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'd have to see it to put, you know, if I see it.
Yeah, we'll see what
we'll
happens.
see.
I'd like you were saying that you knew the guy who's playing. I think it's
Bebop.
Bebop,
is,
right?
Yeah, there's
The
Bebop
monk.
and Rock
He's
City.
the warthog.
Bebop is the guy who played Stevie's dad on Malcolm in the Middle. I can't remember his
All right,
name.
he's. I know him as the voice of Uncle Ruckus,
Yeah, he is Uncle Ruckus.
and for that alone, I love the guy.
I got reverse and pedalago.
It's amazing. And that's cool. And I thought that they looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bebop and Rocksteady looked
Look a lot better than the fucking Turtles, man. Still do
It's
not
true.
like that
Yeah,
design.
dude.
really okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but
That was really
they
cool.
shouldn't be that big.
Yeah,
that's
I
for sure.
never
I
liked
did
it.
like the when like Bebop is like charging through all the like cars and they're flying.
Yeah.
Right.
That looked kind of cool because I mean, it was CGI, but it didn't look. It looked like sort of this weird CGI claymation thing.
Huh.
I don't know if like
Have to take another look.
Yeah, my-
like
Yeah,
it didn't look totally smooth. Yeah, I don't know. There's something hard to explain about it, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, is what I'm saying.
Did look cool.
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's and they're paying. You know, it's fan service. They got the turtle wagon in there.
Yeah.
I had the toy. Have the toy maybe.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
no. And they did the pizza sauce.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. The little
Awesome.
little like gray plastic discs
Yes,
that you
I
threw on
know.
the sticker on top.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
where's that toy?
Yeah, and then what they don't show is this news about Krang. I guess you do see the sky opening, and there's these
Yeah.
like little chunks of what I'm hoping is going to be the Technodrome.
Yeah,
So yeah, a lot more excited about this one than I was about the
Yeah.
last one. But at the same time, I'm not going to see it in the theater unless
Yeah.
somebody, you know, who has some kids as an excuse to go see it and bring their kids reports back to me and is like, dude,
Dude,
dude.
You should check it out. We're brothers, and we love this
Bro.
city.
grab yourself a pizza pie and go see the toys.
You think
Everybody from Chicago talks
every
like
day
that.
eats a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Have you had your pizza today? What's wrong?
Have you had your pizza? Well, the gravy's on the stove, but he hasn't had his pizza, so I don't know.
Karen, what's her problem?
Let's see.
Hasn't had a pizza.
Hasn't had a pizza.
Oh, you got to do that, man. You
Gotta do
got to do
that.
that, bro. So, yeah.
Goddamn.
So Ninja Turtles 2, and we followed that up. We watched the Red Band trailer because we are of age.
Yeah, we're old enough.
We can do it.
We have 18 and older YouTube accounts, so
So verified. We watched the Deadpool Red Band trailer, the new one.
Oh yeah.
Christmas edition. Is that what it was?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Chris Cross.
Oh, you see, I'm Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Looking, everything I see, you know, just a little quips in there are
Yeah.
working a little bit more and more.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of that?
I thought it was really cool. I mean, it is like again with the quips. Anytime a quip they do it, anytime it's in anything, it seems like it's a little bit forced.
Right.
But not so much, not as much with the Deadpool
But
thing.
with
It's
this,
still-
yeah, they definitely make it work because I mean, it's fucking Deadpool.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
so that's all he's
Deadpool.
doing is just talking shit the whole time. Little.
Yeah.
Right.
When he has like the cartoon of him, have you seen this man?
Well, even like the little thing where he's like, they finally settled on the. Well, you look like the inside of somebody else's ass.
Yeah.
Like that went in previous trailers went on like 4 different
Oh
times.
yeah, because they were like they had
You
like
look like a
every
topographical
line.
map of my ball sack or something.
But the action looks really good. How about that shot of his ass? For
Yeah, just like flexing in the spandex. And I like that Colossus. It's like this is the only X-Men character we'll let you have in an R movie because we don't want little kids.
And you
wanting
never
to
get
go.
to see Colossus, you know?
Yeah, right?
It's something I would have been more excited to see in the other movies, but if you do see him, it's like, oh, there's Colossus.
Well, yeah, in every X-Men movie, it's just like the shot of him like turning
Yeah.
in the middle and fucking shit up, and there it's like, "It's Colossus!"
Yeah.
like he's been in 4 of those movies.
Yeah, that's all he
And
did.
has
It's
2
like,
lines.
Never does shit. Never does shit. So, yeah, it is like the only one they'd let them have, probably, but I'm glad that he's going to get a little more screen
Yeah.
time. He's going to get to say some stuff, you know? That's great.
Yeah.
Colossus' time has come.
Well, who's the other chick like Super Nitrate
It's
Megaface?
Teenage Mega Download Patrol. Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
There she is.
Sonic,
She's a
Sonic
dog.
out of control.
You gonna finish your text?
Yeah,
We're
so-
dialed into the young generation.
Yeah, every time they're like, "Oh, you're gonna do a tweet?"
Mm-hmm.
Adults can't say tweet, or like people can't say tweet anymore. I feel like it's done. It's done.
Yeah, like I remember, like when Iron Man, the first one came out, like in the trailers, when he's like, "Yeah, don't put this one in the trailers." He was like, "Don't put a picture of that on your MySpace."
Yeah,
And then the movie came out, and it was Facebook.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You gotta keep it fresh.
right,
Fresh.
yeah. And all the kids are Instagrams, like everybody's.
Everybody's
Yeah.
on
You know.
Gram.
Everybody grab it.
But yeah, that's what we watched as far as trailers go. Now,
On to the one.
we're gonna. This is gonna be a chunky one, guys. Nice and chunky and smooth going down. Had some time to watch some things,
We've watched.
so you might say we're gonna tell you what we've been. Would you love to talk about what you've been watching? Would you love it?
Oh, we would just. I mean,
Would you love it?
all right. I love Eric Bana. We just wanted to get a clean sound. We might not even put that in this podcast because that'd be weird for me to just say. And I didn't watch anything with Eric Bana in it.
Well, if you guys didn't tune in last episode,
You're missing out on the joke. You got to keep up, guys. Don't be skipping around.
We're trying to cultivate something.
Yeah. It's a whole arc to what's happening. Yeah, what we've been watching. I butchered that intro, but yeah, whatever. Fuck you guys.
First one of the year.
You know what?
Ah.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, it's what you watch.
What?
So yeah, we've all we've all seen Star Wars. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I will take responsibility. We probably should have done this a week ago, but my out was I hadn't seen Star Wars,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
couldn't bear the
do it.
possibility of looking at both of your faces, just like turning red and just like just fucking say it. One of us. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on, but I've been, it's not the fact that I've watched a ton of stuff in the time since we last did that. It's just that season's ended. I wrapped up stuff like that, and I guess that I don't know. I'll start out because you guys are talking about something in particular, among other things. Wrapped up Fargo season 2. Been talking about how that was a good.
A good one.
Very
I mean,
good.
I
It
need to
takes-
get on the Hulu
Yeah.
because I haven't been able to
Released in the
watch.
first episode of the second season.
If I were just gonna review it without any spoilers, I'd say that it goes.
You can spoil, man.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. No. It has the first, I think it's 10 episodes long. The first 8 episodes are just the makings of one of the best things you've ever seen on television. Yeah. And in the next to last episode or something like that, they make a decision to do something that either you're on board or you're not.
Yeah.
You're either going to accept what just happened or you're just going to be like, this is ruined. I can buy it I have a lot of respect for the move. If, listeners out there know what I'm talking about. But it did bring it down a little notch. So what I would say was normally a 10 out of 10, I gotta give a 9 out of 10.
Ooh. Ooh.
If we're going on your Pee Wee Herman and Buffy the movie
Yeah.
right now. Or 9.5. I don't know, whatever. Feeling generous, but So that's Fargo season 2. Check it out. I don't know what's going to be
Yeah, I
coming.
mean,
on Hulu
I'm
and shit like
definitely
that.
gonna check it out.
I wrapped up Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was this past weekend. I've thought about it, guys.
Mom?
God.
Oh no!
It's good. I'm glad it's there.
Nah.
I'm glad it's a thing. Only half-hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
Some of the secondary characters really just were not doing it for me, and detracted from what it could have been. But at the same time, it pays off at the end, I think, pretty well. There's a couple like sleepers or just tiresome ones in there, like in the middle that I just. But overall, a good thing. I'd give that like a. I give it a 7.5.
Yeah. All right.
But not the glorious thing that I hoped it would be. But you see, like while it's going on there, you see their limitations. They got budget restraints and stuff like that. And they,
definitely.
1,000% support the fact they're doing it. I can't wait to see what they do in the second season. Maybe correct some mistakes. Maybe kill off a couple characters that I don't like.
Make them Deadites or something.
That would always be nice. Yeah, make them Deadites. Yeah.
Deadites.
Did you see?
I did watch. This is sort of sweeping the American people right now. This Netflix making a murderer thing.
It is intense.
It is intense. It's too long.
It is. How many? It's like 8 episodes.
It's 10.
10 episodes.
10
and they're all like
episodes.
an hour.
Yeah. About. Yeah. And it's just too long. I get it. It's powerful. But the thing in the back of my head is, as everybody's freaking out, like, sign this petition and do all this stuff. It's like, man, like Tony knows, like, you can edit whatever you want to make it whatever you want it to be.
That's true.
Like, this person had access to a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal, like, the way it's put together and all that. Like, but I just don't know. The big
Seems
thing.
compelling. I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, they make it pretty. I wouldn't say they make it extremely, but they make a pretty good case in the documentary about his innocence and like all that. And it is fucking weird about. They just will not. Why do they fucking hate this guy so much? Like, I don't understand.
If nothing else, though, it proves that there's, regardless of this guy's innocence, there's something fucked up going on.
There is.
Yeah, just
In
outside
Manitowoc County.
Yeah, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I don't even know, man. I mean,
yeah, I know what you mean. But you were saying, Jeremy was talking about just watching it. I guess both of you. I mean, you've seen parts of it, and you're just like, I'm not really.
I mean, I like it, but it's hard for me to just because it's just really, it's really depressing.
It's heavy,
and the whole time you're just like mad that that this is happening.
And
to
that's
this guy.
what I keep hearing is like the only reason I've seen as much as I have seen is because over like the New Year's and everything I'm just like hanging out back and forth at Willie's house, and then he's watching it with his girlfriend, and they just keep telling me about it. They're like, oh, you got to watch this show, it's so depressing, it's so it's so terrible to watch, you want to shoot yourself in the face. And I'm just like, well, that doesn't sound I don't want to watch that. That doesn't sound like anything I want to do right now.
Are you trying to sell this?
And
Warn me.
And then they're just like, after me not expressing a lot of interest in it, then they got to go into, there's holes in the DNA. The evidence on this. He was in jail for 14 years for a crime he didn't commit already, and now he's going back. I was like, well, I don't. Okay, that's a lot of information. I'm not going to keep most of that in my head.
Yeah.
You can just keep going though. She just kept going. She just kept listing off things that happened in the trial.
They're excited.
And I saw the last
They're
episode,
excited,
and that's fine, but.
Right.
It's just,
He's
I was
still
just like,
still in the pokey.
I don't know. Maybe I watched all I saw was the last episode. Like basically, that's the only thing I've seen.
It's a hell of a way to go about it.
Yeah, just the last one. So I know how it ends. I'm like, fuck.
No.
The whole thing's like that, and they just basically just stack up evidence of this crooked cop situation.
Yeah.
It's great, but what am I gonna sit here and tell you with all the cool things to like watch?
Yeah.
Why don't you just fucking
Why don't
take
you just curl up and talk?
inside?
This guy hasn't.
This guy hasn't.
All I could, yeah. What's the thing? It's miscarriage of justice.
Miscarriage.
People love saying that, and describing this.
Just a
Yeah,
miscarriage.
just a miscarriage.
Oh, justice.
I
So yeah, either watch it or don't. If you like that shit, if you like to, vicariously live like through this weird situation, like I don't know anybody like that, and nothing like that happens around
that's
me,
fucking awesome.
or you're ultra liberal, and they're all watching us.
They're all watching.
The cops, and it's all crooked.
It's all good.
But yeah, so interesting, worth bringing up. Topical, you might say. The last thing I'll say is that I've we talk about Justice League Unlimited and all that shit all the time. We talked about it's coming out on Blu-ray. Excited about that.
Yeah.
My girl cracked.
Yeah.
Because we've been watching The Flash, and I've been
Yeah.
sort of tolerating that. But I gotta say, later in that first season, some cool stuff's happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I've been showing her, it's been like, hey, why don't we watch this Flash episode on the animated? And then all this, now I can get away with, hey, buddy, I'm going to put this on before we go to bed.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I don't care. Sounds
You
good.
use this live action
Yeah,
to
to sneak
segue into the true goal.
I need to figure out how to
Yeah.
do that.
That's some solid technique. I think we all should take notes.
Yeah, we should.
I,
There's so many things I wish my girlfriend would just fucking watch.
Exactly. It's like, let's just we'll put on for 10 minutes. We'll put on for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, we'll move on.
I even try to like bargain. Okay, we'll watch an episode of your thing and then an episode of my thing. We'll both give it a try with each other.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't work. No, we'll just put on How I Met Your Mother.
The struggle. Get
Yeah.
the girlfriend to watch the thing.
well, all right. Like, and she will probably listen to this. And I do got to say, like, she's probably going to get fed up pretty soon. This is like 3 days in. Like, and it wasn't a master plan. It's just sort of just like, all right, well, how about I saw an opportunity to see how it worked out.
Give it a go.
Tonight she could be like, no, I don't want to watch that shit.
That's fucking bullshit.
I feel like you podcasted about that too, and I don't appreciate it.
And she has every right to do that. But I do have to. I have to mention one thing that Netflix is doing now that's cool is if you're watching like a season or something and it's going to expire, a little window pops up and says like, "Hey, this expires February 1st." So popping on the Justice League, it gave me that warning. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Might just have to do a little revisit.
So if you're looking for a cool cartoon to watch and you have Netflix, check that out before it expires February 1st.
Not a giggity
It's been on there for a while.
Yeah.
Like one of the
It
first
has.
episodes I was talking about binging through it
Yeah.
because I fucking love this show.
I
Yeah,
went back to the not even unlimited. It was like
Yeah.
watching the original ones.
Yeah, original Justice League.
And they're still
Justice League
Yeah.
classic.
good. I mean, they don't have quite the sheen,
yeah.
the glossy.
But they needed to have that first before they could be like, let's do this other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we open it up a lot fucking more and this will be interesting.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, it's cool because my girl will be watching it and she'll just. I know she's paying attention and be like, "Who's that guy?" I'm like, "Baby, it's great. There's a
tell
new
you.
guy every episode." She's
Now,
looking.
this guy in particular.
She's on IMDb checking out. She's like, "Oh my god, he's in that? What the hell? This just keeps going."
Yeah, no. There's so many super guys.
yes.
So yeah, you might say success, but I'm not ready to throw the party. Yeah, I'm not gonna pop the
Yeah.
champagne on that. See, I'm moving along.
Yeah.
What the hell you guys been watching, Jared?
Talking
Tone,
about
what do you want to
opening
do?
up the world.
Yeah.
Something that definitely does that we should talk about
Yeah.
before our final block on Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. Well, is there anything that you personally have watched?
Right.
other than
Actually, I'm
Clone Wars?
just on Star Wars this
Oh,
time. Yeah, it's gonna be Clone Wars and gonna be Star
Well,
Wars.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
So, Jeremy,
let me
do
talk
your
for a
thing.
sec. I watch nothing like it's a historical little program that I found on Netflix. It's called Ancient Black Ops, and it's actually pretty fucking awesome. It's like one of those like do the soldier, but like it's
Reenactment. heavy.
there's like really a lot of reenactments, but it's really cool because they'll like each episode is about a different type of like soldier throughout history. So the first episode is the Assassins, And then they have an episode about the Spartans. Always got to do a fucking episode about the 300. Everybody does a fucking 300.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
And but then there's one about berserkers, and there's I don't know. There's like some shit I've never heard of before. There's like the Hawaiian Koa warriors. And,
Ooh.
the Aztec Eagle warriors, and there's some like it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's really well done. I don't know if you watch it. Kind of the best episode is the first episode. So unless you're like super fucking into historical stuff, you're probably not gonna stick with it. But I thought it was cool. And
That's in your wheelhouse. Though.
Yeah.
You love that.
Yeah.
Jeremy, if I bring up cartoons, Jeremy's going to either bring up geography or history. You might want to be, if you ever like, in your twilight years, become a professor.
I'll be like, well, I never made it in the biz. Oh, I'm teaching you, rascal.
Oh, no, I mean, you'd be... no, it's something you do for fun.
No, yeah.
Just professor.
You're right. But anyway, yeah, so it was good. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, the last episode was kind of the most boring episode, but it was the 47 Ronin, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
If you know anything about it. But they just made that episode boring.
Well, okay, like you're talking about this, and what I think. Remember that show? I don't know. They might still do it, like old, like samurai.
Oh, Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah.
All right, so
what makes it stand apart from?
Okay, so Deadliest Warrior was kind of bullshit. I hated Deadliest Warrior. Well, okay, I really, really liked it, and then I hated it because it was like, at first it was really cool. Like they talk about these they like showcase their weapons, which is like something I'm fucking super interested in.
Yeah.
Is like different types of weapons, but at the end, they would always just test the weapon and not talk about the warrior using that weapon, really. So you get things like the mob beats the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Or like, you know.
They basically they break it down to like in categories
Or
like fierceness,
Yeah.
toughness,
Or like William Wallace.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
Tenacity. And there was one that was like William Wallace versus Shaka Zulu.
Yeah.
And I personally have researched both fellows.
I have fought both of them.
I fought both of them, and let me tell you, I think Shaka would have won, but they said that William Wallace
Because it's tenacity,
won.
or
Well, because like he was just like
Or his stats.
this is like, okay, Shaka Zulu. First of all, never wore shoes, walked around barefooted, could run like 50 miles. Him and his soldiers could just run 50 miles.
did they have underwear on?
Probably not. I mean, they did.
Because Bill Wallace did.
Bill Wallace did. He didn't have no underwear, but I think they were just like, oh, he has like a really big sword, and all Shaka Zulu has is his like little dagger thing, and like obviously they tested like, let's test Shaka Zulu's cowhide shield against William Wallace's giant claymore. Yeah, it's gonna cut that thing in half. Yeah. Of course, it's gonna cut that thing in half. It doesn't matter.
We need to talk about the skill.
But
Would he let him cut that thing in half? No.
no, but anyway, Ancient Black Ops is a lot cooler because it only focuses on one, type of warrior, and it's not like, I don't know. It's really cool. They do a lot of detail.
Yeah.
And they never, like, even with, like, the Aztecs or the Koa, they never talk about, and then they were fucking decimated. They were like, no, I'm going to tell you about the time that they actually fucking killed everybody. And it was like, fuck, it's really neat.
There's a reason they're decimated.
Yeah.
We had to put them down.
But anyway, now that we watched.
Yeah, the coffee maker goes off.
Yeah,
It tells us.
Star Wars.
You fucking talk about Star Wars.
So Tony and I, we were so itching for Star Wars before it happened that we just started watching.
Thirst.
I'm sorry. Before we do this, itching for Star Wars. If you haven't seen Star Wars, just fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear this unless you care about, you don't care about spoilers, but we're going to
Yeah.
spoil the shit out of it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So Tony and I have been watching the Clone Wars animated
Wars.
series.
Young Anakin, yeah.
Now, are you going to tie stuff in from... Because
Well,
I'm not familiar, like...
There's not really
I'm aware
much
of
to
it,
tie in.
obviously.
It
Yeah.
is really okay. So
It's like if you haven't seen Star Wars, if you haven't seen Star Wars.
yeah,
Right.
if you're not like
Yeah.
into Star Wars,
Yeah.
I don't know. Little kids love it who have never seen the original series.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think there's a lot of stuff that they put in there for like super big fans of Star Wars that like obviously
Yeah.
like I'm in the third season by now, so
Yeah.
like there's doing something cool with
Yeah.
that show. I mean, a lot of
It
it
has
is like
6
weird
altogether?
little like
6 seasons?
Yeah, 6
How many
seasons.
episodes?
90.
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
22
not counting
episodes
the
a
little
season, I think.
cartoon shorts that came before. And
Okay.
then I
And
think
there was
a
also
movie.
there was a movie that came out
Yeah.
before the CTV
So there was like
show
the
was
30-second cartoon shorts, or how long are the cartoon shorts?
Well, each of them were like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and then they lump them all together into like a whole huge volume, and then they did the movie, which was the first thing in 3D, and then they did the Clone Wars. They had 6 seasons of that shit. So this has been going on for a long time. And I've only been watching the Clone Wars. Jeremy's seen the cartoons.
I have, yeah. Before they did the 3D thing, the same studio that did Samurai Jack animated these like Clone Wars things, and they were really, really cool.
They
The
always looked
animation
cool,
is
but
really
I
cool.
can never catch them, you know?
And they're
Right.
never. I mean, they're just a lot of them. There's like very little dialogue. It's
Yeah.
like all action, and which is some of my favorite animation is when it's just you can just watch it and you
Yeah.
don't care if anybody's talking. It's just like really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really cool, and this one is it's a little more for kids. I would
Clone
say
Wars?
I mean,
Yeah, Tony, you were saying
it's
gets
not
kinda
okay.
rough.
Yeah.
It's super dark, but it has like a shiny for kids veneer on it. You know what I'm saying?
I think I can agree with that. But yeah, I mean, one thing that I realized in watching this is that this show is pretty fucking dark. It's not exactly a kid's
it's a
show.
war. It's called Clone Wars. So like
it's
people
a
are
fucking
dying.
war.
People die on
every
screen
episode.
a lot.
Yeah, and it's not just like little cute kid off screen. Maybe he got cut or something. I don't know. Maybe he got smashed by a rock. We don't see the body.
Right.
It's like bodies getting thrown. Like
And
limbs
you
flying,
see people getting shot with lasers.
people getting like lit on fire. There was this
Yeah.
one little the alien race on Geonosis. There's one episode where they're there,
Yeah.
and they just got the stormtroopers coming, the clone troopers coming in with flamethrowers. Like, yeah, get them out of there.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're like their wings are falling, they're falling off cliffs and stuff. And I was like, holy
There's
shit!
the one episode where it's like where Plo Koon
In the pod?
and they
Yeah.
have to abandon the ship, and so all the clones are in these like escape pods, and there's like these
droids are just
droids that are
popping
just
pods.
like cutting open pods and letting the clones fly out
into space and die.
and die. And, like they're just
just go
going
around
around and
popping
doing
fucking
that,
pods.
and it's like fucking gnarly.
Yes.
And then like a droid will
Intense.
crack a joke like I'm just a guy, and then like oh it's for kids sometimes.
Why'd I get this job? Yeah,
well,
I mean,
you know,
most of the
Roger, Roger.
That's why I was never like super into watching it in the first place. Was those fucking droids, man? All you see is the droid. I remember when when the Clone Wars was really big when
Yeah.
it first started out.
Yeah.
All you'd see is those fucking
Yeah,
droids
dude.
saying shit and like in that stupid little voice, and I was like, well, that's probably the show.
Right.
That's probably the entire fucking thing. So it just turned me off to it.
There's a lot of really cool. Those are just the battle droids.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other cool. There's like droids that were in the movies, like the super battle droids
Yeah.
and the droidekas that like roll and have
They
the
get
shields.
so
but
much more
they
into,
have like
like, what's up
commando
with droids.
droids. And
Yeah.
They have tactical droids,
Yeah.
and they have the assassin droids. They finally show the really sweet
Yeah.
assassin droids.
And like, it's just and there's so many episodes where it's just about droids. And there's like C-3PO and R2-D2 obviously get their own episodes where they go
Yeah.
on their own little thing. But there's a lot of episodes about how like droids work in the world, like what's
Yeah.
going on with droids and that.
Yeah.
And especially with the clones, like there's so much stuff about that I never really thought about too much. It's like, hey, they have a fuckload of clone troopers, whatever.
Right.
But like the way the clones are treated and the way people think about the clones
Yeah.
and how the clones have to like have a certain level of individuality being a clone while in an army of a bunch of dudes that look
And
exactly
they're
like
basically
them.
they're bred for obedience.
Yeah, and they're bred for
they
obedience.
like tackle these issues.
Yeah.
on like
It's
a
interesting.
A lot of
Because as
really
you're
cool
talking
stuff going
about,
on with it.
yeah, you're saying like the thing with the droid that's letting these stormtrooper or
Yeah.
whatever
The clone
clone troopers out into space. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought about like fish. Like it's okay. They don't have any feelings.
No, but they do a really good job of like if you meet a little squad of clone troopers in one episode, by the end of that episode, you kind of know these clone troopers, even though they're all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same guy doing all the D. Bradley Baker, every single clone trooper in the show.
That's great.
And there's clone troopers that like I look out for now. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that's
They're-
Rex.
oh, Rex is back.
Yeah, Rex is that better be Rex
Yeah.
in this episode because you don't know right away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bald stormtroopers going around. Is that Rex?
that
Is that the
Rex?
guy? It's Rex.
And what-
Rex or Cody.
What was the other the episode with 99, the like reject clone? That
Oh,
was all, like,
that was really
deformed, and
sad,
that was
man,
and he was
yeah.
like, "I'm finally out."
Yeah. And he
check
died, and I
this
was like,
out.
oh,
Yeah.
that's great, dude. He died doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it until this time.
Oh, dude, it's a sweet show.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right.
Star
Yeah.
Sold.
Wars
Yeah.
is the real.
Now we're on the
wars.
main thing.
Nerd boners
The
awaken.
Force Awakens.
How do you guys even want to begin?
Oh my
I
god!
don't
Well,
even
first
know.
of all, I'm just gonna say, let's just say what we thought. I fucking loved it a lot. I really thought it was like a Star Wars movie from beginning to end. Because at the end of the day, although I fucking love Star Wars, none of them are like actually good movies. You know what I mean? Like, there's plot holes, there's shitty acting, there's just a bunch of really cool stuff happening, and you like the characters. And that's what this movie was. I didn't care about any bad acting, or if there was a plot hole, whatever. I thought it was a Star Wars movie. I thought everybody did a good job. I thought Kylo Ren was a really badass bad guy. A lot of people hate on him, but
I'll get into that. That's the subject. Okay.
Yeah.
but I think he was really, especially because he's like an untrained. So like there was the parts where he blows up, and like even though you're like on the dark side, you're supposed to like control your anger, and he can't do that yet because he's not trained. And like plus haven't you like always wanted to see somebody just like why haven't any of the like dark Jedi's like just freaked out and destroyed something with a lightsaber yet? Wouldn't that be what you did if you got really frustrated and you had a laser sword? Just like,
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's got a little bit of. I feel like they were like showing him like outtakes from I don't know Hayden Christensen. Like, this is the kind of like you're part of the same family, so act like a twat like this guy. And that's what he does. He's a little brat.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because that's what the point. All right,
Just a
first of
whiner.
all, I thought he was the way Anakin should have been the whole time. Second of all, I don't think he. I mean, I think that was like the fucking point of it. Is that like.
Well, before we start doing that, let's
right.
get everyone's feelings out.
Yeah,
and
so
then we'll
if you
get
had to
into
rate,
this,
like, what do you want to do? Like a 10 out of 10 or some shit? I don't know. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'd probably give it a 7.5 to an 8. Maybe even higher. I don't know. Probably higher. I like that movie a lot.
Dude, I mean, if you want to give it a 10 out of 10, be my guest.
Yeah.
I think I would. It's
Be honest, you got to
maybe
knock
like
out
9.8 out of 10. If there's like, I really fucking loved it.
I like the decimals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
9.8
Yeah,
out of 10.
9.8. Yeah.
See? And that's with adjusting to probably we're not going to be as high. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go because me and Jeremy have talked about this already.
Oh yeah.
But no one's heard Stoodley, so Stoodley we're going to save for last.
Precious cherry.
Okay, you precious diamond. And then, so I came out of it the first time, right? I saw it opening day, had bought tickets months in advance. I tried for so long to keep myself from getting super psyched on it. And then at the last minute, it was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get really fucking psyched about going to see Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then I think the pressure was just really, really high. You know, it's just super fucking high. It was fucking opening night. We had good seats. It was just ready to go, ready to fucking do this thing.
Yeah.
And I came out of it sort of not as psyched. There's a lot of stuff I really like about it. And if we're talking about liking the characters, I really like the new characters. I enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it felt like a fan fiction movie to me. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's that's what it. I didn't feel like Jeremy's. You know, he said that you feel like it's a Star Wars movie, and I was like, I didn't feel like it was a Star Wars movie. I felt like it was. You know, a bunch of JJ's just a really big fan, and that's great. It's like awesome, JJ, you're a fan. We don't have to refer to something in the original movies every fucking 5 minutes, you know? Like, come
totally.
on.
You're right.
You could just take it back a couple notches, and yeah. So that's how I felt about it initially. I went back to go see it again in 3D, and I gotta say my second viewing was more pleasant. The pressure was off. You know, it's like it's not we're back to go see the new Star Wars movie. It's I know what's gonna happen, and there's a bunch of stuff that I missed the first time because I was like, man, you know, and then. I do like the movie. I like it a lot. I like the new characters. A lot of stuff that we already gave the disclaimer that spoilers are going to happen throughout this. But
Go ahead.
When Han shows up, right, and everything's like, yeah, fucking Han. He's in the cockpit for the first time, and he kept being there. I was like, fuck, Han's dead.
Yeah, Han's dead.
I was like, Han has been in this movie too goddamn much.
Yeah.
I mean, if the only reason I would give it a 9.8 instead of a full 10 is because Harrison Ford just looks so tired. It's like, what?
Really, I felt like he was.
His running
I felt like he was all right.
I think he
did a good job being.
I think he was able to
Harrison,
do it,
you know?
but at the same time, he's just like it just seems so exhausted the whole movie. Like, just I don't know, but I still loved
I think he
Han
did a good
Solo.
job being Han again. I think he really, I believed it.
I would agree.
I was there with Han. There with Han and Chewie.
Uh,
I think that they made it so the new characters kind of take the show, but I mean that's on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like Han's there and it's awesome, but you know he's not just
Also,
Han in it.
I immediately liked the new characters, whereas like if I was not a kid and it was just seeing like A New Hope for the first time, I'd be like, Luke, you're a kind of a bitch, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you love Luke.
As a kid, you
He's-
love
'cause
but, like,
he's the guy.
None of they were all. I don't know. They were like immediately likable to me. There was nothing like.
Yeah.
I disagree.
But
what's-
anyway,
what's your-
it was just I'd have to say after my first and second viewing, like the second viewing, I enjoyed it a lot more. And
Yeah.
I looked out for stuff that I missed the first time, particularly like where Jared said he zoned out when he was watching it is when they're in Maz Kanata's cantina.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
fall
Like
asleep a
there's
little
some
bit
stuff
there.
going on there, but for some I felt like that scene just dragged.
Me too.
Like man,
Yeah.
that took way too long. We should have been in and out of this place, and that place should have went down in flames.
Yeah.
Like it took too long and kind of dragged it. It
Yeah.
was at a weird spot too, you know. And then we got Finn flying off to go fuck off, and then we got Rey just kind of I hear a little baby crying. I'm gonna go down here and see what's going on. BB-8's following her, and then she has her little crazy trippy sequence. And when I
Yeah.
saw it the first time, I was just like. That was like my lowest point of interest in the movie until she touches the lightsaber. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck does Maz Kanata have the lightsaber?
Well, okay.
We haven't seen it since a New Hope, right?
No.
A New Hope is when he Empire. Empire
'cause
is
it
when he
goes
was
down the like.
Yeah, it goes down the chasm.
Everybody goes down a chasm in
Yeah.
every Star Wars movie. That's the way.
and
you
everybody
die.
loses a hand in their second movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look out, Rey. Or maybe they'll switch it up. Maybe they'll make it
I
Finn.
think Finn.
Yeah.
Man.
Somebody's losing a fucking hand.
Somebody's gonna get maimed.
Yeah,
But,
but I gotta say, for my rating on it, there's so much stuff about it that I really liked, and we also have to keep in mind that this is set dressing for the new movies, right?
Yep.
And a lot of it is about nostalgia. They made it basically A New Hope on purpose,
Yeah.
just to show you this is what Star Wars is like now.
Yeah.
So taking all that into account, with my initial feelings, initially I would have given it like maybe. An almost 7, maybe
Yeah.
like a 6.5 even. Yeah, but then I was mad, and it took me a while to really focus on those
Visibly.
feelings.
You
yeah.
can see it.
But then after that, I'd say I give it an 8.
Yeah.
Give it an 8. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. It's killing it. It's got new likable characters. There's a lot of stuff that I disagree with, but it's nothing that should take away from it entirely.
Right.
So yeah, I'd give it an 8. If not, maybe a little under that, but I'm gonna go with 8.
Yeah, I'm actually right there with you. I give it a hard 8.
Yeah.
That's where it belongs for me.
Yeah.
Taking into account what I believe to be some of its shortcomings and just being a fan of Star Wars in general.
Yeah.
Now, I just be honest, I don't live and breathe Star Wars.
There was a lot of sweet little like.
Yeah,
if
there was,
you, like,
there
know
was
everything
a
about
lot of
Star
stuff.
Wars,
There was a
like,
lot of
know
stuff going on.
If you're a true believer, Brian.
Well,
No.
I don't.
I didn't mean to phrase it that way. I'm sorry.
Well, yes, you did. No, I just, I'm well versed in it, but not as much as you guys. You guys are way above and beyond me. So it's just like regular Star Wars fan. Yeah, just a hard 8. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not great. There are issues with it. Like if we're okay,
Just tell me.
you got my rating. All right, like
Come on.
obviously Tony had mentioned it earlier. There's the entire movie for the most part is fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's what they needed to do because they fucked up so bad before.
Yeah.
They needed to right the ship.
Just like the first line in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and make it right.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. It's funny. But yeah, there's a lot of things in there where I think that they... Okay, this is one thing just in my mind. Just poor A. Hemplo. Okay?
Poor Ham.
They fucking find the Millennium Falcon, all right, and they don't... Obviously, it's just, it's awesome that it's there.
Yeah.
Like, I can accept that, it's randomly there. It's fine. But when they get on there, the little thing that bugged me, I guess, is a little, game that Chewie was playing.
But you're gonna
with-
talk about the Millennium Falcon and not talk about that intro, dude? I love that intro. That
What do
was
you
so
mean?
great when they're like, let's go find a thing.
No,
get the
that's
fuck
a
off this
piece of
planet.
shit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
not
right.
that one. That one's garbage.
Yeah. No, that...
They're like,
And that's great. And that's
Yeah.
another just that just one of thousands of examples.
like you knew it was the Millennium Falcon. I was like, I don't know how the Millennium Falcon's going to be here right now, but the Millennium Falcon's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
there
here.
right now.
well, it's something that I thought about was that chess game, right? And it leaves off exactly where it was. I think it was in
A New Hope.
Yeah, A New Hope is when they.
It's the last time they played that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't play. I don't think they show it again
No,
in the other movies.
but they kept the same like claymation.
Yeah.
It looked
animation
great.
for It was
Yeah.
awesome.
But why? This is just going to sound stupid and nitpicky, but if this has been like not only in these other adventures in the episodes, 5 and 6,
yeah.
and it's been in the hands of all these like people who have been trading it around and it's
Yeah.
been stolen, all this. Nobody's played this game.
Well, see, there's one of the reasons. There's one of the reasons I felt like it was a fucking fan fiction movie,
Right.
Because that was a little Easter egg for the audience. That was just for the audience. That wasn't like within the world, like that Star Wars is really happening, and that this really realistically would not be at the same exact point as it was after we see it in A New Hope.
Probably not.
There'd probably be a different setup, at least,
I think I'm just.
Their
and
new
I can see
unlocked
it.
characters.
Jeremy's face right now is just like, "Fuck you, dude. You're just being a dick."
Ever since I started talking, Jeremy's just been squirming.
I would be
There's
lying
a
if
lot
we're
of
not both sort of enjoying this.
There's a couple things like that. Like, okay, first of all, I really fucking loved the bowcaster because in the technology of Star Wars, the bowcaster it's not just a fucking laser. It's like highly magnetized metal that's being shot at you. So that's why it like hits so hard, and everybody that gets hit by it is just kind of flying, and that's why Kylo Ren is actually bleeding when he gets hit by it because he has a fucking slug in his body.
Yeah.
And like I fucking loved that, but at the same time, Han is like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
you've never used his bowcaster
You
ever.
guys have been hanging out for so long. You've been friends for like 40 years. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too when he first picked up. I was like, what, Han? You never touched the bowcaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how has that not happened? I'm sure Chewie had to get knocked out once and you picked up the bowcaster. Like,
Right.
I don't know. But,
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm glad. I'm really talking about that bowcaster real quick.
Yeah.
Just a little note on that. I'm glad that you told me that. I didn't know that about the bowcaster. I didn't know that it also shot a little piece of magnetized metal that fucks you up.
Yeah.
Because whenever you see someone shoot a bowcaster, they fucking go flying.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they do that all the time. Every time Chewie used that bowcaster, it's like boom.
Yeah.
It was a little inconsistent though, because there was a couple times where he was like picking off some stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it'll lose velocity based on like the suit,
bro,
the Star Wars science behind the weapon,
Yeah.
but it was a little inconsistent with how far back he would toss a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
It wasn't always there, but he does. That is a great point that he got hit with that fucking bowcaster. It wasn't just a laser.
Yeah.
So that he was a little more fucked up because I'm sure we're going to be talking about that last final dramatic scene and all the things going on there. So it's good to have that in account when we're talking about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can at least agree on the fact that there's a lot of fan service there, which at some points is distracting.
I like when he's like going through the shit trying to find bandages and he finds a little remote droid.
Yeah.
And he throws it away.
But that's a good one because that would just be chilling in the Falcon. Like that would just be sitting there. But like with the game, it should have been a little different. It was more like something on the surface because you can look out for it instead of something that's actually going on in the world.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing. Like when as I was watching it, like I was way too conscious of stuff like that happening. I guess I mean like I get that, but it works sometimes, and that's why one of the reasons you get the 8. Now moving away from like the nostalgic part of it, like the new characters. Let's talk about these guys. Rey.
Rey's.
You can start with Rey.
I think she's cool.
Right? Great. Fantastic.
I think she's awesome.
Tough.
Just perfect Star Wars lead.
Yeah.
She just fits fucking in there.
She just looks like she reminds me of Bastila from the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, yeah, dude, you're definitely a Jedi. Like, she just looks like
You're a fucking Jedi.
Yeah, and she's awesome. I don't know what's up with that like weird. I don't know if that stick thing that she fights with is actually like. I don't know. I think she just hits people with it. It doesn't seem like it's energy or anything, but it's fucking.
I mean, I'm sure it. For me, what I took from it was it's just some piece that she found when she was, salvaging stuff, and she's like, I can use this as a weapon, and she's obviously had to have some sort of training because she kicks the shit out of those two guys,
Right.
Which you also gotta think about. Before.
That's a nice scene.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams is good at like playing like good scene like that. Like you see Finn. Like watching her just about to get her ass kicked, and he's gonna come save the day, and then he just backs off.
Yeah. I love her. He's like, you got a boyfriend? Cute boyfriend?
That had its place.
Yeah.
Or when he
But
just,
that
asked her.
Phasma shit.
Yeah.
You didn't
sucked.
when he was like, I loved that. I'm in charge
like
now.
that?
Jimmy John.
I wanted
You
that
calm
character,
down.
Phasma to be cool.
Yeah.
And
They're saving
there's
her for
no
They're
reason.
saving her for the next movie.
I
I'm
fucking
sure.
hope so.
I
I'm
wonder
sure.
how we're gonna get Phasma off the planet, though. How did she make it off? No one knew where she was, and
Yeah,
like from
that's
last
true.
time we saw her, they were throwing her ass down a fucking trash chute, or at least they said they were going to.
Yeah.
We don't know
Right.
what they did, but if she was in a fucking trash compactor, there's no one. Someone's like,
But she could've-
"Hey,
yeah.
where's Phasma? We should probably take care of that before this fucking planet blows up."
That's where like, but there's like,
I mean, they got to bring her back, right? So there's gonna be an
there's
explanation.
so
There's
much
no way.
shit.
Do they? I don't know.
They gotta.
What are they doing?
I have a
They've made such
T-shirt
a
with
big.
her on.
They've made such. That'd be great. That'd be great if Phasma was just like the
That
best
was
part of the
weird.
homage. Was she's like the Boba Fett. She was set up to be cool,
Yeah.
but she dies in a trash compactor.
In a scene you don't see. Oh
I
man.
but
That's it. All right. Like you have obviously your new main character, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
talk about and Finn's good.
good.
Yeah.
He has a moment, so I think he gets a little too jokey for me. Also, the fact that they go down there with the assumption that he knows what he's doing
Yeah.
and he really has no idea.
yeah,
That was weird. And then Han Solo is just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not how the Force works.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what?
So we use the Force.
Finn, you selfish bastard! Like you're running away, like you're living in a lie. Like what the hell's going on?
Yeah. And you, up until this point, should have been kind of a downer. Not that animated because you've just been conditioned your entire life to be a fucking stormtrooper,
Right.
But you know he's
But
really
I
like,
think-
beep, 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 beep. And there's a little novella thing that's coming out that has a backstory on Finn.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's all about him, and then supposedly that guy with the stun baton that everybody can't get enough of.
Traitor.
I mean,
And
that is
that
cool.
yeah.
Like,
and that stormtrooper that
Yeah.
dies and then puts the bloody hand on his face because
Yeah.
you know that's got to be some kind of
Yeah.
big deal for
Right,
him, right? It
right.
makes it look. You can see that there's a reaction there,
Because he makes
and that's what broke him
I
off.
just like that he make because like anybody like even if you're like conditioned for like you still and some you can make a choice and like he made a choice
Yeah.
to get the fuck out and at the same I think that he's also in some way force sensitive because like everybody's like oh man he used a fucking lightsaber for the first time.
That's,
It's just
that's
like-
one of the stupidest
I
fucking
was like,
critiques,
what
though,
do-
because
yeah.
obviously he's gonna have combat training.
Yeah, he
Right.
has
He's been
comments.
True.
trained for ever since he was a child. Like shut up.
yeah, but
But if he was working in sanitation, like he probably wouldn't really know how to use a turret gunner on the Falcon.
Well, that's
but-
the thing that's confusing to me that he was working sanitation because based on what I read from the novella,
Yeah.
the thing that's coming out, he was actually top of his class in everything, like tactician. He was a leader. He was great. The only problem that he had was he was too compassionate.
Yeah.
No, he was too empathetic.
Yes.
And that means that there was a lot of time where Finn was in the shit, and he was one of the ones they were grooming to become like a higher trooper.
Yeah.
But because of his being too empathetic, they might have like knocked him down and he fucked
dude,
up.
Yeah.
they put
Yeah.
him in the shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they put him in
Yeah.
sanitation.
But that time where they're out on the planet and they're shooting that village, that's the first time that his platoon was ever
out.
in
Yeah,
action.
that's what he says.
That's the
That's
very
right,
first
okay.
time.
Yeah.
And his little buddy who is in that book is one called like they call him Slips or something because he's always slipping up. He's in the original group that Finn has like as a training.
For
They have a
sure.
little squads of 4, right? And he's the one that keeps fucking up, and he keeps trying to cover up for this guy. And it's been going on like throughout most of their lives or however long they've been in this little squad together where Finn has been the leader.
Yeah.
And that other guy, the one with the stun baton,
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. I know the internet has a name for him.
Yeah.
It's like TR-87 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
FN2187.
yeah, FN2187. He was also in the squad. They're saying
Yeah.
no one's conferred that this is actually what's going on. But
Yeah.
that guy who died was definitely in his squad. And then the traitor guy might have been. So they got a lot of backstory going there for Finn. I haven't read anything for Rey's backstory. I definitely want to get into that and then Poe's because
I'm-
Poe did not get enough time in this movie.
No, he didn't.
Poe was a fucking cheeseball, dude.
That's exactly why I loved
That's
him.
why I liked it.
Because all those movies. Okay, all right. Let me just.
I don't buy it, dude.
Let me just say
I
this.
didn't-
Do you think if you guys were kids and went to go see The Force Awakens, you would be saying these things?
No,
Exactly.
but I'm not.
Put on your child eyeballs and watch the fucking movie.
Why is I mean, okay, that's fine, but he's not
it
like.
has to be good. It doesn't have to be diluted because it's for. I mean, there's a lot of
It's
good
not.
children's
It's
stuff
really.
that's, you know.
Yeah,
But I don't think I just didn't have a problem with Poe that much. You know, I get why he's there and what he's doing there.
Yeah.
I think he was interesting enough, and Oscar Isaac did a good enough job with the time he was on screen.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Poe. I wish they would have more time with him actually.
Yeah,
'Cause the way it came off, that's why maybe it came off a little cheesier because he's just in
Yeah.
these little flashes, right?
But
doesn't
he
get
also seems
main
like a
parts.
dude who's like he's been like, I don't know, you just get like the sense that he's like part of something, like he's like part of another movie. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just sort of like,
he's in here.
Oh shit! And like, cause like he's got already like he seems like he's already got so much going with him, whereas the other are, you know, the other characters are like just starting out, but this guy's already been doing a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine. Like the way that the character's written in the history, that's great. But like the level of just like, hey bud, what's your name, man? Oh, this is great. Like, oh man, I'm so glad that I met you. Like, I'm just whatever the lines are.
Yeah.
But that's how it sounded to me. And I was like, take it easy, guy. Like, you know, like
But that's
work
how
at
the first-
Disneyland or some shit.
That's how the first movies are, where they're like, we're just like the fucking best of bros, and you guys have been hanging out for like 2 fucking days.
What are you talking about?
Han and Luke.
Han and Luke and like all that shit.
But they weren't like touching each other every 5
Yes,
seconds
they
like
were.
these.
5 seconds? They had a hug on one battle
yeah.
strips, dude. They weren't like.
they weren't touching.
They touched
okay,
before.
He was like, I'm gonna rescue you.
And then there was like a full like a both shoulder like grab
Yeah.
from one of them. They brought them really close.
God damn.
You know. And they did that thing where like the actors do where they like go back and forth between the cheeks with their eyeballs.
I'm so glad to
See,
see you
it
alive.
wi-
I'm
it
glad to
weakens
see
me.
you alive.
There's also a lot of eyeball bouncing. That's what I'm going to call it in this movie. A lot of eyeball bounce acting.
I feel like you've been on that eyeball bouncing ever since
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
it's in there and I can't get it out.
You step forward and say the line.
Look to the left.
Yeah, I guess in a way I'm just playing devil's advocate and just trying to chop this movie down. Okay, sorry. Kylo Ren
Okay, Kylo Ren.
is a subject. Oh, Tony didn't like.
Tony doesn't
No,
like
no,
Kylo
it's
Ren.
not that I didn't like it. You know, there's a lot of stuff, especially after watching it the second time, there's a lot of stuff that I enjoyed. I think I like Kylo Ren because he's basically just like he was like a whiny little kid with a lightsaber. And, you know, he's had
Yeah.
some training and he throws fits. There's a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed about him in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's going to be anywhere near like a badass bad guy. I think this is going to be like his redemption story, if anything. It's going to be like next movie he kind of fucks up again. Last movie is him sort of coming back and redeeming himself for killing Han and doing all that shit. Because he's not a bad guy. He's not a force. He's a force before he takes off that fucking helmet. Once he takes off that helmet, I'm like, oh, this guy's just.
But
a
I
little
think
bitch.
that's like the point of it.
It is,
He
yeah,
was
I
like-
agree. Yeah.
He was like, you can like look like, yeah, I look like a little bitch. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read your fucking mind right
Yeah.
now. Like I don't know. I think that was the point. Like yeah, I'll show you my fucking face.
I'm
Like,
not saying it is like a critique of it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's how I see the character.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
You know?
obviously, he just like really wants to be Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's why he's.
That's
doing
why it's funny, and
everything,
then he's got
that's
like the
why-
little baby flaps on his helmet.
Well,
you
his
know, that you
helmet's
don't
like a
see
World
right
War.
away.
His helmet's like a World War II like German helmet.
Oh, really?
Like,
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
Darth
yeah.
Vader's is more like a samurai thing.
It looked like he had the little like baby wingies because you know how Darth Vader's helmet kind of blooms out at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his does, but in like a much smaller way. So you
Yeah.
only see it at certain angles. And like he's got like the training wheel.
Yeah.
And when he puts the helmet down in the ashes, and they're like, "Yeah, that's probably Anakin's ashes." He probably holds those ashes and looks at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's what made that character interesting for me, and I thought it was well played by him, just because he is flawed,
Yeah.
you know, and he's torn apart or whatever, and he has no training. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
who this big Andy Serkis Snook
Yeah.
guy is. Like,
Well, I heard a theory, and I'm pretty close to just adopting that as what's going to be the canon. Is that Snoke
Plagueis.
is Plagueis?
Yeah. Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
who is that?
Darth
Oh,
Plagueis
he's,
is the one who trained Sidious. He was Sidious's master, the Emperor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no one.
he's the reason why Darth Plagueis is. They're talking about it in Revenge of the Sith, where he's like, he could even create life with
Yeah.
the Force, and he's
He could
supposed
bring
to.
people
It's
back from
implied
the
that
dead.
Darth Plagueis is the reason why Anakin's mom doesn't have a father. He created.
Oh,
Anakin, basically.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And Plagueis was killed in his sleep by Sidious. He was like, he could save anyone he wanted except himself.
Yeah.
You know? And he's all fucked up in the face, so looks like someone put a lightsaber through his
Yeah.
head and just expected that was going to kill him, but dude can control life and death, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really crazy like dark side Jedi that have like. There's this one guy that's like in the Old Republic that's just like all cut up and is like literally held together by his hate. And, like,
Well, I guess that's the point.
Very Star Wars.
The Kylo Ren thing is that like he doesn't. hasn't had this training. Like they
Yeah.
mentioned at one point, like he still has to finish his last level
Yeah.
of training or whatever.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before. His lightsaber is like just some homemade.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he got one of those.
Like he's got that wire on the outside, like he
Right.
forgot what he was doing, and he's like, "Oh, I guess
shit,
this
I
goes
gotta
here."
ground it.
Yeah, and it looks like I remember reading that it was
Yeah.
like built upside down.
So that's why the emitter is all
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah,
And, like,
why he has to have those vents.
the beam isn't like totally focused.
Yeah.
It's all like
And that got fucked up at the last part of the movie. I'm pretty sure that Rey, used Anakin's lightsaber to just chop his shitty one in half. So
Yeah.
now he's going to have a different lightsaber in the next movie.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's like the same style.
Yeah.
Or this time he's going to complete his training so that he should know how to make a better lightsaber. It'll be interesting to see how that plays
Right.
out.
yeah.
Well, that was my favorite part of the whole movie was that fight at the end there,
yeah.
which I think it should be. But
Yeah.
the way that they lit Kylo Ren there and the way his face looked, it was like, yeah. This looks
Well,
great.
When he decides, let's talk about light. When he decides
definitely
to
talk
kill,
about that because that's a great part.
When he decides to kill, he's like Han Solo's like burn. I want to see my son. But so like the fucking planet is sucking the energy out of the sun, right?
Yeah.
And so it's still light outside. So you got like the red light of like the space they're in, and there's like blue light coming in from outside, and that's why when Kylo Ren is talking about, I know what I have to do, but I don't think I can do it. He's not talking about going to the light side. He's talking about like he knows he has to kill his dad.
Yeah.
And so like when he's like doing it, he's about to there's like blue light and then red light, and then
Right.
the sun gets sucked out, and then it's all red light, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill my dad.
Yeah.
And then,
And then he falls down that giant chasm with that fucking walkway that has no goddamn
That has no
railing.
railing.
Like,
Who's designing this shit?
who's doing why? Why? If you can't balance on this railing, then you don't deserve to be.
You
in
don't
this army.
deserve, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any railings here. We don't
don't
believe in
have
them.
any railings.
Not since the Empire.
Safety's not required.
Right. I guess those are all of the new characters. Well, who was the what was the character's name with the glasses that had the bar or whatever?
Oh, Maz Kanata?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
cool enough.
I
Maybe
thought she was. I like
Yeah,
her.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's probably gonna pop up again since
Yeah.
obviously she knows everything about everything, and she's been living for like 1,000 years and
Yeah.
seen like the Jedi turn into nothing and then come back up, and then the Empire go from the Sith to the Empire to now the one. She's seen a lot of shit.
What is that called again? The one,
First Order.
The First
The
Order.
First Order.
I think that she also might have been in a. She might have been in like a Jedi temple. That's where her bar, because like it was weird. It was like really old construction.
Yeah.
And like she's like super, and like the Jedi don't really exist anymore. So like that totally makes sense that like a Jedi temple would just turn into like a
Yeah.
spot
Right.
for people. I don't know.
So what are we saying on Rey here for the last fight? Because you got that lightsaber in the snow, right? Just,
Pretty sure she's Rey
just
Skywalker.
Empire, just like in Empire.
Yeah.
We got fucking Kylo trying to pull for it. Yes, he's fucked up and his concentration's probably all over the place, but he could barely budget.
Yeah.
And Rey's like 30 feet away, decides, hey, I'm just gonna put my hand out there and see what happens. Holy shit! It just flew to my hand.
But she already showed like how adept at the Force she is.
Yes,
but, like,
very adept, but she's just pulling stuff. I mean, okay, so
I mean,
right
they
now we're
did-
assuming that she has had Force training. She's had some sort of Jedi training,
Either
and she had
that
her
or
memory
she's-
wiped, right?
That's what I think may have happened.
Okay, so
Yeah.
because that's
That
the only
she-
way it makes sense. Otherwise,
Yeah.
how the fuck does she know to do any of that shit? There's
Yeah.
no way.
Well, I mean that's not entirely true. If you're if you're strong enough in the Force, you could just like accidentally do shit like that.
but like pulling a lightsaber.
That's happened in Star Wars before, man. I
Where?
mean, there's like in like all the comics and shit. There's always like someone. There's always like they go. It's usually Dark Jedi because they'll like go to a planet where they like have the Force but like don't know about Jedis and stuff, and there'll be somebody who's like super adept with the Force, and everybody will be like fucking afraid of them and like shun them, and like that's kind of like Darth Maul. That's like this one character in Jedi Outcast. That's what happened to him. That's like that does happen where like people are just so strong with the Force and they don't really know what to do with it, but they can do shit with it.
They can do shit with
They can, yeah.
Okay.
As your grad.
I don't know. I feel like they've sort of made lightsabers kind of like Harry Potter ones a little bit.
That is a little annoying how like
Yeah.
but also at the same time that was her that was her like cave, like Luke had like the failure at the cave. Experience. That was like her like weird like 4C experience.
Yeah, where she wasn't really put on trial. She was just a lot of things were revealed to her.
Yeah,
right.
She just saw visions, whereas Luke and Anakin both had trials.
Yeah,
Right.
And I think we're still.
But
I think that
now Luke is going to be the new Yoda.
Yeah, and I don't think
that.
We definitely are waiting to see her trial, right? That's
Yeah.
going to happen in the next movie.
Yeah.
That was just a weird, crazy Force vision. So apparently she's so good at it that she can get these visions without having any Force training. Because you have Padawans and Jedis that aren't able to receive visions until they're like many, many years into their training. So the fact that she could just be in a place that's kind of Force sensitive and touch something that has to do with the Force.
Yeah.
And then she has this vision. Obviously means that she's got a crazy amount of like strength.
She's a direct descendant. I don't see how it could be any other way.
She has to be, because like she said, even like that chick says, it was his father's and then it was Luke's and now it's yours. Like she doesn't say like because he's your dad, but she's like, and now it's yours. Because just take it. And but that was. Yeah, it is a little annoying how they basically made it like a wand in Harry Potter. But other than
this
that,
wand chose you, Rey.
Yeah.
It has Lucas feathers in it at its core.
Lucas feathers. That's what a Lucas sounds like.
Well, at least we all enjoyed it.
We all enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we didn't give a shit, you wouldn't nitpick at stuff.
It's true.
And yeah, overall enjoyable. I enjoyed BB-8.
I didn't want to enjoy BB-8.
Yeah,
I knew that
I was
going
going
to be
there
there
like
to be
that's
cute.
for like kids.
Yeah, I was like, he's Disney. That's
he
what
was
he
adorable.
is. And
Yeah.
then like when he did the little flamethrower thumbs up thing,
That
I was
was
like,
awesome.
shit.
Fuck. That was the selling point for me as well. Yeah. But yeah, we all enjoyed that. Anything else you guys want to say about Old Star Wars?
Oh man, I would say go see it. If you haven't, you probably have, right? I mean, I don't know.
I've seen it twice. I'm probably gonna wind up seeing it again before it's done.
I mean, I saw it. I don't know if any of you. I'm just telling these guys about it, but I went to go see it in D-Box 3D, which it's basically like a motion, like Star Tours from Disneyland for 3 hours because it's actual Star Wars movie and it's really fun. And I don't know, my friend told me that he went to go see Jurassic World in it, where like the seat moves while you're watching and it vibrates, and they do a lot of cool shit. Like just one example of something cool that they did just in the Star Wars movie is when you're on the bridge of the Falcon, the seat is like rumbling kind of a lot because it's a smaller ship.
Yeah.
But in the scenes where they're in the Star Destroyer, it's like you almost can barely notice the like little rumble in the seat because it's just supposed to be the hum of a giant ship. And
it's awesome.
They have like it's that level of detail that they go in. And it's
That's
really
crazy.
it's a cool experience. If you got an extra $25, I would say go do it.
Go do the DV.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty much it. I mean, we should be getting on some Oscars are coming up soon enough. There's some movies I haven't seen yet. Tony, you haven't really delved into any.
I need to see all of them.
There's a bunch of stuff I gotta see,
like
man.
Creed.
I wanna see Creed, Trumbo, Hateful
The Big
Eight.
Short.
Hateful Eight,
Yeah, The Big Short. Like, there's so much stuff out there I just haven't been able to.
Yeah.
I want to see that so bad. Oh my god.
Next time we'll hopefully have something to report back on that.
We'll see some movies.
Yeah. In the meantime, folks, like the Facebook page. If somehow you tell your buddies that don't listen to iTunes, we're on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Check us out on there. Send us an email, buythebulb@gmail.com. And we'll try to get back to you in the next couple weeks. I think it's going to settle down maybe a little bit for us, at least Tony on our end.
Yeah.
Hopefully for a bit.
Definitely for a little bit.
Get this shite done. But until next time, guys, I'm Brian.
No, I'm Jeremy.
Tony, lights out.
There's nothing a little music can't help. Rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling, but the seagulls poke at my head. Not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it now.